All right, hello. It is Mark, and welcome to another whiskey review. And today we are going to do Woodford Reserve. This is the five malt stouted mash. So, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. Give it a like, subscribe, and let me know if something you want me to try. So, okay. So Woodford Reserve or Woodford Distillery is in Woodford County, Kentucky. They're owned by Brown-Forman, and they have both, from what I read, they have both pot and column stills, or at least one of each. I'm not 100% sure, but that seems like that's what I read. And they've been around. They're one of the oldest distilleries. They've been around since 1812. 1812. And although the site has not been continuously in operation all that time, it's pretty much been in the current structure. It's been around since 1838, and it is all right. What else? Okay. Well, anyway, this is the Salted 5 Malt Stouted Mash. It's a no age statement. It's 45.2% ABV, which I understand a lot of what they make is that. Now, this does not have any corn. I know that the Reserve is a bourbon. They're, I think, known more for bourbons. This is not a bourbon at all. So I do really like their single malt, or their malt whiskey, I should say. And but I don't think I may have tried their bourbon. I'm not that familiar with it. So anyway, this is what they did when they created this is one of their, Reserve collection, Masters collection, and they come with one year. I think this is their 17th, I believe. And so what this one is they were trying to make something with a lot of beer flavor, or kind of very heavily influenced by beer. So this is like a stouted whiskey, a stouted malt whiskey. So they have 5 different malts in there, which is typical distillers barley. They have a wheat. There is a pale chocolate malt, a Carafa, I don't know how to say it, malt, and a kiln chocolate malt. So some of these chocolate malts, and the coffee malt, the chocolate malt, and I guess the Carafa malt, whatever it is, those are traditionally more made in beers, typically darker beers, porters and stouts and such. And so we don't know exactly the percentages, but we know that the ranges of the different malts goes from just over 1% all the way up to 70%. So the proportions, we just have no clue. But anyway, so I'm going to roll that one more time. I'll show you the bottle. That's what it looks like, clarity-wise. There she is in the glass. Still got some legs going on there. Don't know if you can see those. So I will read what little I think is on here, but maybe there's a lot. I'm not sure. I've not opened this at all. Okay, it gives you some tasting notes and such. All right, so it says in the 1830s, the Woodford County Distillery was the setting of a series of discoveries and innovative practices that today define the bourbon industry. For this 2021 Masters Collection release, Master Distiller Chris Morris and Assistant Master Distiller Elizabeth McCall have drawn upon that rich history and their own interest for that inspiration. In Kentucky, a fermented grain mash is traditionally called distiller's beer. Distillation converts this beer into a spirit that will become a whiskey once barreled. This Master Collection is our take on crafting a spirit that exhibits the flavors of a classic beer style, in this case a rich roasted malty stout. Our distillery building was constructed by Irish stonemasons in 1838. That, plus the fact that we distill in the Irish style with triple pot stills, inspired us to mash and distill a spirit that has the flavors of an Irish style stout. The result is the fall 2021 Masters Collection release named 5 Malt Stouted Mash, a rich and darkly robust expression of Woodford Reserve Kentucky malt whiskey. All right, I'm going to pour a little bit more in there I think that was kind of a light pour. Okay. I can definitely smell smell it come off of there. So I'm going to give it one more roll. That's kind of why I want to pour a little bit more in there. I wasn't getting it up far enough up the side of the glass. So here we go. Okay. A very malt forward, a lot of malt notes in there. I'm getting chocolate. Orange, a lot of orange, like orange peel, or orange zest, I should say. Like chocolate, like powdered chocolate is kind of what I'm getting. There's a doughiness to this, like a doughy, very doughy character. You know, I saw a lot of people were tearing this up, but I think this is, some people liked it, but most people were tearing it up, and particularly even on the nose. And this nose is, I have no problem with this nose whatsoever. This is pretty good. Malty, orange zest, powdered chocolate. There's a nuttiness to this almond. Walnut, more walnut, I guess. Walnut. There's kind of a little bit of a burnt character to it. I guess that's probably the darker malt, the chocolate malt. Yeah, and there's an earthy tone also. I'm sorry, I just don't have a problem with this nose at all. So, all right, let's go into the palate. Chocolate, oak, bitter oak. The chocolate also has a coffee, like Arby's used to have. I think I still do that Jamocha shake. The maltiness, the coffee, the chocolate, bitter oak, almost like an Ovaltine note in there. Yeah, I don't have a problem with this at all. But I like stout. I love stout beer. You know, this is not bourbon at all. I don't think this is for everyone. It is not a bourbon at all. There's no corn at all. So, you know, it's just me. I like it. More chocolate I'm getting now. And more malt. So, whoppers. I'm getting less of that orange though. More of that earthiness is coming through. And that doughy. Like when you make beer, if anybody who's made beer before, that kind of that stuff, that malty stuff you make when you make beer. With the grains in the water and all that stuff. But yeah, but with lots of chocolate. This is okay. I don't have a problem with this whatsoever. All right. Yeah. Bitter chocolate. Coffee. Malty. It is just malty. Malt forward. You know, you definitely get that beer influence, so like it's almost like a Boilermaker. And not totally, but I mean, reminiscent of a Boilermaker. So, all right, that's it for me. I'm going to go ahead and give this. This really isn't for everybody. It is pretty cool. I like it. I would like to keep it on my shelf. So for me, it gets a 7. But just be warned that a lot of people probably won't like it. It's certainly not bourbon, and it's got a sweet note to it, but it's not really that sweet. I'm giving it a 7. I would keep it on my shelf for sure. And anyway, we'll see you next time.